Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, list of recommendations to stay safe during March Nor'easter. New Hampshire emergency management officials are warning the public to stay informed and follow recommendation for Friday's powerful nor'easter. Coastal flooding and beach erosion are likely on the seacoast, while very strong winds statewide may knock power for some. About 1 to 2 inches of rain is expected for most areas before the storm ends as snow, with most accumulating likely in the higher terrain areas of the Monadnock region. Residents are encouraged to take the following steps to minimize the storm's impact. Know the terms used to describe flooding. Flood watch. Flooding is possible. Watches are issued by National Weather Service 12 to 36 hours in advance of a possible event. Flood warning. Flooding is occurring or will occur soon. If advisories to evacuate, do so immediately. Monitor local conditions, particularly in areas that have flooded before. Go to readynewhampshire.gov and sign up for New Hampshire alerts and receive location-specific emergency information and weather warnings. Know your community's warming method and evacuation routes. Promptly follow evacuation requests from local public safety officials. Turn around, don't drown. Do not drive through flooded waters or on water-covered roadways. Report power outages to your electric utility company. And here are those phone numbers from each company. Eversource, Liberty Utilities, New Hampshire Electric Co-op, and Utility Capital Area in the Seacoast region. Stay clear of down power lines and assume they are live. Call utility, police, or fire department to report down power lines. Never operate a generator indoors, inside an enclosure, or within 10 feet of windows and doors. Check on welfare of neighbors. Where possible, minimize damage from basement flooding by elevating utilities and materials that could be damaged by limited basement flooding. Have go kits for each member of your household. Make family communication plan. Bring in children toys and other items that may float away. Be prepared to turn off electrical power when there is standing water or fallen power lines, or before you evacuate. Know how to safely turn off gas and water supplies before you evacuate. You may need to store materials like sandbags, plywood, plastic sheeting, and lumber to protect your house from flood waters and make quick repairs after a severe storm. Contact your insurance agent or local government to discuss flood insurance coverage. Flood losses are not covered under regular homeowners insurance policy. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA administration, and the National Flood Insurance Plan. The Flood Insurance Administration, the NFIP, makes flood insurance available in communities that adopt and enforce ordinance to reduce flood damage. Contact your local emergency management office for more information on migration options to further reduce potential flood damage. Your local emergency management office may be able to provide additional resources and information on ways to reduce potential damage. Winter storm warnings posted for powerful long-duration storm. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
Right now, we're projecting approximately 200 soldiers and airmen will be available to respond. Major mission we're focusing on is high water rescue, as the governor mentioned. What's important about the activation order is the governor has given the Massachusetts National Guard maximum flexibility to preserve life and protect property. And that's what we intend to do. We're focusing on high water rescue using the light, medium, tactical vehicle. Now, this is the vehicle a lot of the community saw during the January 4th storm. It's great in high water situations. However, when it comes to moving water, Administrator Schwartz is going to talk a little bit about moving water. Our focus is really the activation begins today. We started recalling our personnel today, and they will remain on state active duty to the end of the emergency. Right now, we are projecting 34 vehicles will be established and positioned at municipalities throughout the eastern part of the Commonwealth. And we have another 10 that will be on reserve for emergency dispatch in regional areas. And we're working with our interagency partners under the direction of the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Maine coast brace for strong nor'easter flooding. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
Megan, well, it was a gorgeous day here in Wells. Many people getting out, taking their dogs for long walks because they know they'll probably be stuck inside tomorrow, especially if it looks anything like this. Take a look at this video. This is what it looked like in this exact spot during the last nor'easter. Waves crashing over the seawalls, water rushing down the street. You can see there's still seaweed and debris left over from that storm even today. Now, we spoke with a man whose house flooded during the last storm, and he says he's moved a bunch of stuff inside to prepare for this one. Listen to what he had to say.
I'm kind of excited about it now that I'm prepared for it. I've got the snowblower already up in the screen room here, and the generators out of the garage. That's up here. So anything that's could get wet down in the garage is already up here on higher ground.
The Coast Guard also issued a warning encouraging everyone to stay off the water and prepare their boats for the storm. CMP also says that they're prepared to bring in crews from other states if they need to if there is any damage after the storm. Live in Wells tonight, Erin Dixon, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Now let's take a look at your stock market and see how your stock market closed for this Thursday evening. And here's a look at that market for you right now, everyone. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the red and went down. Your NASDAQ closed in the red and went down. S&P 500 closed in the red and went down. CNBC IQ 100 closed in the red and went down. Gold closed in the green and went up. Oil closed in the red and went down. US 10-year closed in the red and went down. Euro/USD closed in the green and went up. And VIX closed in the green and went up. Dow closes more than 400 points lower after Trump says steel and aluminum tariffs coming. Stocks fell on Thursday after President Trump said the U.S. will implement tariffs on steel and aluminum imports next week. Dow tumbles more than 400 points aimed Trump tariff crackdown. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
Wait, what?
We have with us the biggest steel companies in the United States. They used to be a lot bigger, but they're going to be a lot bigger again. And we have the big aluminum companies in the United States, and they've been very unfairly treated by bad policy, by bad trade deals, by other countries. They've been horribly treated by other countries, and they have not been properly represented. More importantly, because of that, our workers in our country have not been properly represented. So we're going to build our steel industry back, and we're going to build our aluminum industry back. And the fact is we weren't treated, and we haven't been treated fairly by other countries. But I don't blame the other countries. When I was in China, I said, listen, President Xi, I have a lot of respect for President Xi. I said, I don't blame you. If you're able to get away with making almost $500 billion a year off of our country, how can I blame you? Somebody agreed to these deals. And those people should be ashamed of themselves, what they've let happen. So we're bringing it back, and we're going to bring it back relatively rapidly, and we're going to be instituting tariffs. When it comes to a time when our country can't make aluminum and steel, and somebody said it before, and I will tell you, you almost don't have much of a country. Because without steel and aluminum, your country's not the same. And we need it. We need it even for defense, if you think. I mean, we need it for defense. We need great steel makers, great aluminum makers for defense. So we'll probably see you sometime next week. We'll be signing it in, and you will have protection for the first time in a long while. And you're going to regrow your industries. That's all I'm asking. You have to regrow your industries. Mr. Secretary, thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it. Mr. Secretary, thank you very much. And we'll see you next week. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you.
What size are the tariffs, sir? How long do you think the tariffs are?
Unlimited period. Unlimited.
Is it 25%, sir?
It'll be 25% for steel. It'll be 10% for aluminum. And it'll be for a long period of time.
Okay, and there you go on that video of Donald Trump's meeting. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday night. And I'll see you back here tomorrow with another newscast. I'll be back later on this evening for a news report. Good night, everyone. Bye.